I need you to do me a favor. If you have an iPhone, and I know you do, just take it out and either hold on to it or set it next to you and then forget about it. Okay, so take it out. And now forget about it. All will be clear. All will be clear at one point, okay? If you don't have an iPhone and somebody next to you does, eventually, if you're the one who has it, I'm going to ask you to share your phone. Okay? Okay, so forget about everything I just said. Because I'm going to tell you a story. And it's a story that happened 33 years ago. But it feels like it happened just like yesterday. You ever have a story like that? Thank you for your participation in this. Did you ever have a story like that? Yeah, okay, cool, great, good. Okay, so here's mine. So it was 33 years ago. Cindy and I were about to celebrate our first Christmas together. And we were up in Alexandria, Virginia. That's where I went to seminary. And we had this little apartment. It's great. But here we were, two different people, two sets of traditions, trying to blend the traditions and then create our own new traditions around an emotional holiday. So what could possibly go wrong? Everybody's just so open-minded around their Christmas traditions. It's like, we're good, right? Right, okay, so there we were. And what we found was one of the traditions that we shared was going out and buying a tree and coming home and decorating it. Great tradition. So we did that. And it was this beautiful tree. It was a small apartment, so it was this nice little tree. And what I remember about it is there were all these red bows. Cindy had all these red bows that she tied on the tree. Oh, it was so pretty, with the green tree and the red bows. It was beautiful. And I was like, yes, this is great. We're flowing together here as this new married couple. The only thing that was left to do was put the top on. And for some reason, I think I had a class late that day or something like that. So I went to class with an empty top tree. When I came back, there was a bear. There was a bear dressed, it was like one of those keepsake things, dressed in a little gown. And there was this bear. And so I walked in and I was like, that's not right. Who in the world puts a bear on the top of a Christmas tree? Everybody knows that what goes on the top. Everybody who says angels, you're wrong. Every one of you. I'm going to call you out and shame you. No, it's a star. Everybody who said stars, you're good little boys and girls. And you win the Christmas prize. Because a star goes on top of a tree. So I, kind of let her know that. I was being kind. And I just really went on this rant about what's supposed to go on the top of the tree. Merry Christmas, right? So I overreacted. 33 years later, I can look back and go, I overreacted on that. But let me explain. This is why I overreacted. This was my story. So in my family, the vast majority of our Christmas traditions were religious in nature. It was really more on the religious side of it all. So we had an Advent wreath with Advent candles, a version of this, and we lit the appropriate candle every night and had prayers together as a family. And that was lovely. And we had a manger. We put a manger out, but you didn't put Mary and Joseph and the donkey in the manger right away because they had a journey to take, right? So everybody who put Mary and Joseph and the donkey in there right away did it wrong. Okay? Because we did it right. And it was great. I really loved it as a kid, just to be able to move Mary and Joseph along and the donkey along the way. It was really lovely. It was really, really beautiful. We went to church every Sunday during Advent and listened to the stories and sang the hymns, and that was beautiful too. And we decorated the Christmas tree with a star at the top because the star has religious significance. So it's right. But the truth is, in a very commercialized Christmas season, for me, what feels like a very commercialized Christmas season, having those traditions was great because they pointed me to something beyond what the commercialized Christmas was showing me Christmas was all about. It pointed me to something beyond gift giving and decorations. Those things are wonderful. Gift giving and decorations, I'm for it. Love it. But what my tradition showed me is I need more than that for the season to be whole. I need more than gift giving and decorations. I have to have more. I need to do things that help me experience the sacred in our midst. I need to do things that help me experience the Christ. I need to do things that help me experience the presence of God that is with us, that is in us, that is all around us, and I want to see, feel, and taste that. So those traditions that I've mentioned really did help me as a kid especially. Or so I thought. Because if they really worked, I wouldn't have gone on a rant about what goes on the top of a tree. Something got in the way there. Wasn't the tradition so much, it was me missing the deeper part that the tradition tries to point us to. The traditions are trying to point us to the sacred, to the Christ, to the presence of God with us, and all that that brings. But because I was so adamant about keeping my tradition, star got to go on the top. I missed it. Once again, I'm going to say this again. The traditions aren't bad. The traditions are good. It was how I was keeping them. That was the problem. You see, I was using those traditions as a way for me to be right. I'm right, you're wrong. So I was using it as a way for me to be right rather than for a way for me to be connected. Connected to Cindy and connected to those deeper parts of Christmas that I'm talking about. You see, when this happens, at least for me, then the Christmas season becomes like a competition. I'm doing it better than you. And you're not. And at its worst, it can be the whole of religion looking at culture saying, we're doing it better than you. We're right and you're wrong. And that doesn't do anything. You see, I can still see this in myself when I start complaining about how early Christmas starts or what our culture is doing and not doing around the season. And when I do this, I don't know about you, but when I do it, all I feel is bad. Mad, upset, angry, frustrated. You know that there's nothing in the story about any of those words. Jesus came to make you mad, frustrated, angry. This time of year. You know, so I'm left in that kind of Charlie Brown place. What is this all about anyway? Right? See, and when I'm in a place like this, what I need is the tradition. What I need is the stories that we tell. And the stories that we've told since the beginning of Advent. Because for me, the stories open me up to the deeper part of Christmas. And I'll remind you of the stories that we talked about. So Chris, a couple of weeks ago, reminded us that a big part of Christmas is the peace, that sense of peace we find when we stay open to God's surprises in our lives. Because Christmas is about peace and experiencing peace. And then last week, John reminded us that through it all, through all the decorations, through all the shopping, through all the celebration, the heart of it all is love. Because Christmas is about love. And today's story points us to joy. Joy. Christmas is about joy. This entire Sunday, the way everything is trying to help us move toward joy. So these beautiful vestments, it's about joy. Lighting the pink Advent candle, it's about joy. Listening to the story today where John in utero does a flip because it's so joyful. Because Christmas is about joy. And joy is a sure sign that we recognize and experience the presence of God with us. I'm going to say that again. Joy is a sure sign that we recognize and experience the presence of God with us right now. So whatever moves me to joy within me, and whatever moves me toward joy outside of me, that is what is most important at Christmas. That's where the traditions point us today, toward joy. So ranting about what goes on top of a Christmas tree or how the culture has it all wrong doesn't help. Doesn't help me encounter joy. But I'll show you what does. So, in just a second. So my daughter and her husband and our new granddaughter, they're all celebrating their first Christmas together. So they're doing what we did, blending traditions and trying to form their own new traditions. Now, get your phone, put on the camera, and there's a QR code right in front of you. Hit the QR code. And what should pop up right up front is Tom's story, Christmas story, something. You see it? Does somebody see it? If you see it, share it. Share it if you have it. Share it if you have it. Share it if you have it. You see? Okay. Wait, can I have your attention, please? So what is that? Baby Yoda. And you know what I say about Baby Yoda? If it brings them joy, leave it on top. Amen.